Hey Gffan123, here's some ideas for you. You now can continue Gffan tunes, and I got some ideas for you. And I hope you enjoy. Oh my gosh, I have ideas before school. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. But yeah, hope you enjoy my ideas. Oh my god, this intro is so bad, isn't it? Also, happy 5 years Sock Opera Anniversary! The first thing I have in mind is basically an event that's pretty much a 4-part special that could be probably taking place after Arrivederci Flashlight, when Dipper is his flashlight and he turns good and he's no longer an annoying brat and stuff, he's just being himself again. And basically what happens is that Dipper will end up getting their powers. So what happens is that pretty much at first it may feel tingly and stuff. Mabel was actually thinking it's interesting and stuff. He's like liking it, but Dipper's not liking it. He's like, oh my god! What if it's returning? What if it's returning to Dipper again? What if Mabel says to me said, what happened? Oh my god, what happened? Oh my god, ah! Like, literally freaking out. And in the end, after a while of a lot of weird feelings, Mabel and Dipper end up getting their powers. So, yeah. They end up getting their powers, like, they have, like, you know, have powers and stuff. Pretty much, sort of like powers that pretty much come out of their hands and stuff. You know, like me with the pink and Dipper with the more interesting blue, but has stars in it. So it's kind of, you know, a personal type of powers and stuff. Yeah, that kind of powers. And of course, we must end up getting earrings that are pretty much star earrings, and Dipper ends up getting this. I don't even know what the heck that is, but you know what the heck they call that on putting on people. But it ends up having a puncher on it, and pretty much after Tor learns about this, he is like, oh my goodness, oh yes. And then he comes up with the idea to manipulate Dipper and Mabel's powers in order to take over Gravity Falls and take control of them, and then take over Gravity Falls. So he laughs maniacally, and he ends up actually crossing the powers. So he steals the powers, and he ends up corrupting, you know, the things that Dipper and Mabel have. He puts them on them. After the corruption happens, pretty much with his app, he corrupts them. And after that, Dipper and Mabel actually end up getting corrupted and stuff. That's basically part 2, if you ask me. Yeah, part 2, that's part 2. And that happens, after that happens, the pretty much a lot of weird stuff happens. Pretty much, Dipper ends up acting again evil and stuff. And Mabel's like, oh my gosh, why is Dipper so evil? And Dipper's like, oh my god, what's going on? What's going on? Oh no, what's happening? Stop happening. And in the end, by the time you know it, Tord actually take control of Dipper and Mabel after the corruption happens. So after this happens, pretty much he's in control of Dipper and Mabel, and Dark Dipper returns. Yep. The other side of Dipper being controlled by Tord. Yes. So yeah, that's what part 2 actually ends off. And then we have part 3. next idea I have in mind is called Lily towards subject. Yep, you saw it coming. And oh boy, once Dipper finds out, he's going to be really pissed off at Tord. He's going to be really mad. So pretty much happens is that basically, Tord kind of, befriends Lily, then he takes control of her. Of course, pretty much doesn't even know about this until, like later on into the episode. But first of all, Tord does take control 2 people later. Then takes little Gravity Falls, and in the end, once Dipper finds out, he's like, that evil witch! So yeah, he's pretty upset and mad. He's like, Mabel, come, we're gonna stop Tord again. And they end up getting their powers. We're gonna blast them with the magic of mystery, yeah! So in the end, they end up coming to Emperor Tord's evil lair, and they end up actually defeating him, snapping Lily out of his control. Lily takes down Emperor Tord. Tord goes back to normal. He says, "Drat." Yeah, he pretty much is not happy. And, well, he's still sad, but pretty much after being sad, he's pretty angry. So, pretty much, and in the end, his friends come to cheer him up and stuff. And, yeah. And in the end, pretty much, there's like a little parody scene of 5 fighters. Instead of Lily's there, Mabel's like,
how about you guys learn HR in secret?
Referencing their 5 fighters. And Lily's like, yeah, I do agree with that idea. And in the end, well, this is actually a pretty funny scene. So in this scene, Tord and Dipper and Lily are like staying and pretty much like having a good time. And once Lily leaves, then this funny scene happens with Dipper and Tord. Don't worry, Dipper is not really evil anymore. He's just hating Tord, and he just wants to see him burn, so he breaks the pencil. Get the point? That they just hate our secret. So the next thing I have in mind is called the Cipher Phone, and I hope you like the thumbnail. Also the design of the phone. Yeah, like here's like a story I got the idea from. I was actually holding a phone, and pretty much my dad's phone, and after that, pretty much my brain was like, wait, what if Bill and Ann actually got a phone? And this is the boom popped in my mind. Yep, people autism get actually pretty interesting ideas in their minds. And I got a pretty interesting idea myself. So Bill and Ann end up getting a phone because ends up giving them a phone because, he's got huge responsibilities after taking after place after the events, of a River Tree flashlight, he was dressed again for his now good, so he's probably has a huge responsibility to take care of Bill and Ann since, their parents are dead. Yeah, we all know who killed them. But pretty much, after that, pretty much they have to call, like, Ford in case, Tord comes with this app and stuff. Yeah, but the Ford just wants to keep Ann and Bill safe, along with Wilbert. So, pretty much somebody ends up spending credit out of the tablet. You just say who, actually. Bill or Ann, I have no idea. But pretty much after that, Tord comes in with the app. He finds them. He's literally going to try to control them. But pretty much Bill and Ann have no phones, so they're a little kind of screwed. So pretty much in the end, Wilbert and Ford come in and they save like Ann and Bill. And pretty much they learn after this that they shouldn't spend the credit of the phone ever again. Yeah, one cares about that. But yeah, that's the idea. It is pretty much a parrot, sort of a spin-off of The Edges is Greener. Episode where Plankton missed the crowd. Episode where Plankton was wondering what it'd be like if he actually better if he was on Mr. Krabs' place. And he travels, and he apparently ends up in the thing where he swaps himself with Mr. Krabs. He's the good guy, and Mr. Krabs is the bad guy who wants to steal, the Krabs formula. So pretty much it's a sort of a similar thing. So I've been wondering, what it'd be like if me and Patrick switch places. So this happens. Pretty much Bill is just a normal human, and he's in Dipper's place. And everything just gets pretty interesting, and Bill kind of likes it until he sees how evil, malicious Dipper is as a dream demon. So literally that actually ends up kind of changing his mind, and he pretty much ends up actually going back to how it used to be. How it used to be. Yeah. It just literally, and pretty much Dipper also does this thing where it's like references to SpongeBob, where he's like, oh, but I will! And then he'll come back tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Yeah, you get the point. And the next day, and the next day. Billy, forever. Yeah, I get the point. So yeah, it's pretty hilarious. So probably kind of interesting idea in a sense. So yeah, I hope you use that idea. I actually saw a spit paint once of It's Time Billy, but I guess it got deleted on YouTube, but it was a really good spit paint. Yeah, that was kind of a shame, but I literally love that spit paint. It was so cool to see Bill and Dibbles switched. Oh my god, it's awesome. Yeah, I hope you use that idea.